Good morning, everyone. Let's begin our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke on this Ahn Shi Day with Rev Kenji Watanabe. This today being Tuesday, the 9th of March, or the 26th day of January in the 9th year of Chongalguk. We'll begin with a bow to our Heavenly Parent and True Parents. Chariot, Kyombe, Paro. And we'll recite our family pledge both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가정맨세 2. 전의국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 전주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 춘신, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 선자의 가정의 노래를 완수할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 2. Our family, the owner of Chongalguk, pledges to represent and become central to heaven and earth by attending the Heavenly Parent and True Parents. We pledge to perfect the dutiful family way of filial sons and daughters in our family, patriots in our nation, saints in the world, and divine sons and daughters in heaven and on earth by centering on true love. Good morning. I'd like to ask Jeffrey Fires if you could offer the opening prayer for us. Sorry, Jeffrey, can you unmute yourself?
Okay, sorry. Most beloved Heavenly Parents, True Parents, we are so fortunate that we can be here together this morning as a family that are busy together building Chongalguk in every nation. That we can be building a mighty force of the Heavenly Parents Holy Community that can represent you in every sphere, in every place, in every home and in every heart. Father, we have been so blessed with this tremendous responsibility. We are so thankful that we have our ancestors who have been making tremendous conditions that has allowed us to be here. Very simple people in one sense, to understand this great truth, to be among the first in the world, to be able to recognize the true parents, Lord of the Second Advent, to take part in this tremendous kingdom building exercise. Father, we pray that you can inspire brothers and sisters everywhere, that they can recognize their tremendous fortune and responsibility, and make every effort in every waking moment, each day and each month and year, to do their best to enhance the expansion of your kingdom. We pray for our true mother, her health and well-being, and the unity of the true family, and all those providential prayer points, so that we can vertically align ourselves with true mother and her incredible leadership as we usher in this new era. Please be with us this morning with the elder brother as he gives the Ahn Shi. I offer this prayer in the name of Jeffrey Muki Fais, who represent the Fais Central Best family. I pray, Aju.
Aju, Aju, Aju. Thank you, everyone. That's great to see everyone. We have a good turnout of 46 participants so far from around our region. So let's give a great welcome to Reverend Kenji Watanabe as he offers the Hundoke. Thank you.
Good morning, Reverend Yutaka, Reverend John, and all national leaders and the beloved brothers and sisters of Oceania. Good morning to you all. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Yes.
And all right, then probably need to click as a presentation mode, I think. Just a moment. Yeah, all right. So today is the Ahn Shi. I don't know how to call it in English. Day of the God Sabbath, something like that. Anyway, sometimes we just go through the such important date without thinking. But yeah, as I got the opportunity and a great honor to have opportunity to share with you this time. So just I wanted to remind ourselves of the meaning of the Ahn Shi somehow, as the Ahn Shi is the new tradition that was created by our beloved true parents since the Samsung has Shipsan Il, the 5th of the May 2004, and since that time, the era of the after coming of heaven started, and we actually had to renew ourselves as a new being living in the new era, and Judeo-Christian tradition made the kind of 7 days cycle a week, but according to the second Advent tradition for eternity, so we started the 8-day cycle, and so every first day of 8 days really need to determine for the renewal. So today is the such day, and really would like to invite the heavenly parents in our heart through the Fundok this morning. Thank you. Let's start. I just picked up the True Parents Word from the topics, which is True Mothers, the life course. That's the Rev Yutaka picked up and set up the whole atmosphere for the 40-day condition. And I just picked up the part from the Champumogyon, page 151 to 154. Subtitle is the Nurturing True Mother. Okay, just a moment. I need to, yeah. Let's start reading. True Father said, Holy Lord Church led by Reverend Kim Son-do, and Inside the Womb Church led by Reverend Hugh Hobin were connected to True Mother through demonim. Throughout her life, Honsune demonim made many conditions of devotion to meet the returning Lord. Also, when she joined the Holy Lord Church and the Inside Womb Church, she dedicated herself to these churches. During that time, Reverend Ho's mother gave a blessing to True Mother. You will be heaven's bride. This signifies that the entire foundation of the conditions of devotion made by all these spirit-led churches was bequeathed to True Mother through demonim. So demonim's the absolute faith, love and obedience set up the path to True Mother, and all the related to the spiritual foundation as all the prepared for the True Mother through demonim. Let me keep reading here. As no tree is without root, so we need to understand the people in the past who constitute the root of True Father and True Mother before they were inaugurated as a true parents. It is significant that they created and maintained a good environment, good family, and good lineage until the end of their lives. My mother, Demonim, was born on the 22nd day of the second lunar month in 1914 at Jeonju, North Pyongyang province. She devoted her life completely to finding the returning Lord and then lived her whole life in attendance to him. Christians up to that time lived with the hope of the welcoming the Lord, but my mother's path was different. So in order to meet the Lord, she actively searched for him, rather than just hoping and waiting for him to come. So through this reading, really confirmed that the absolute the face of the Demonim, wholeheartedly waiting for the Lord of Second Advent. So, which is the I think starting point of the face of the attendance. Despite that she was not able to meet in early days, despite seeking for the Second Advent, she already practicing the face of the attendance. Let me keep reading. Thousands of years before Jesus came, God made many preparations for Israel to receive him that remain unknown to this day. In Korea as well, prior to the liberation, he prepared many groups to receive the Lord at his return. So those groups carried out internal work for the providential history of restoration. My maternal grandmother and my mother searched everywhere for those groups. They lived their lives only for the will, preparing for the day when they could meet the Lord. In the end, their sincere and devoted life of faith led me to where I am today. Living a virtuous and pure life, they separated themselves from anything impure or evil. I learned this way of the life of the way of life primarily from my mother, but my maternal grandmother also greatly influenced me. Grandmother John Womo was born in a Christian family. She had a deep faith and love for her country and was passionate about everything she did. With the explosive beginning of the March First movement in 1919, she participated while carrying my mother, who was then 5, on her back. I remember one time seeing a picture of her at a rally. Grandmother Jo was truly remarkable woman with a fervent life of faith that influenced my mother. They attended the Presbyterian Church until my mother was 19 years old. Later, they attended the Holy Lord Church founded by Reverend Kim Son-do, even making the long journey to Cheolsan to attend the church there because it was very active. My grandmother and my mother joined that church and continued their life of faith. So grandmother and the mother through mother is the 3 generation. They hold the 3 generations the preparation for the true mother to be bride of the Lord and the mother of the begotten daughter and the mother of the universe. It's amazing history. So anyway, those part already Reverend Yutaka shared, but kind of repeating. But anyway, I just continually reading as part of the section. So as the anyway, through grandmother and the mother of the true mother, as they devoted to the Christians, and they totally devoted themselves to meet the Lord of Second Advent, and they are guided by the Spirit, and so many occasions they were guided by the dream and liberation, and that's the story coming up next. So in 1944, 1 year after I was born, my mother and grandmother, John Womo, joined the Inside Womb Church, where preparations were being made to attend the returning Lord. Reverend Hoving told the members, each and every woman in the church should make at least one set of the clothes for the Lord. Otherwise, when he comes, you will be ashamed. One afternoon, around 1:00 p.m., Reverend Ho asked my mother to make a set of clothes for the Lord and complete them before nightfall. It might be possible to make clothes for the ordinary person within several hours, but making clothes for the Lord required extra special care. Still, my mother obeyed and did her best. With the trembling hands, she made the clothes with the heart of gratitude. My mother wanted to be like Reverend Ho, who was living as a spiritual life of attendance to the returning Lord day and night. One day, she thought to herself, if only I could meet the Lord once, even in a dream, I could die and have no regrets. That night, she had a dream. In her dream, she was wearing a white Korean dress. She was in a clean 3-room house with a thatched roof. Having prepared breakfast, she was coming out of the kitchen, drying her hands out on her apron, when the grandmother Jo said, "Not just anyone is allowed to come into this room, Still, she opened the door and without saying anything, quietly entered the room and sat down. There she saw the man, physically well-built and wearing a headband, sitting at the table, facing the east and studying. All of a sudden, he around and looked at her and said, "I have been studying hard in order to find you." So my mother later said that his remark touched her deeply and she was overwhelmed with gratitude. But at the same time, she felt inadequate and could only shed tears, unable to utter even one word. She wept while holding his hand. Then she woke up. After waking up, she thought, what an unusual dream. He must be the returning Lord. That is how my mother had her first encounter with true Father in a dream. I just guess that which age of the father of the age the true Temonim met in a dream, and as he was still studying and looking at the east. So I think still he was studying in Japan. Such kind of the connection I can see through the testimony here. Anyway, Temonim Taemonim face really a good, extreme good example for all of us, as true father is not in the physical world anymore, but he's more free in the spirit world, and whenever we are ready, true father is coming and guide us. Yeah, we really would like to inherit the face of attendance from the Taemonim, as well as the true mother. And this is the another story. Let me read. One day, Reverend Hu Hobin told my mother about the liberation that she had received. I was told that you should go to Anju and buy new shoes for the returning lord and his bride, and also a traditional Korean hat for him. My mother departed as soon as she heard this. She went to well-known craftsman who made those items and asked him sincerely, "Please make them with your utmost devotion. I will pay you as much money as you want. Just make them to the best of your ability." She gave him the sizes for the items and left. So 1 week later, my mother went to pick up the items. She was pleased with the shoes, but not with the hat. As soon as the craftsman handed her the hat, she felt her arms starting to go numb and saw the sky turning yellow. Her entire body was paralyzed. She could not move at all, and her feet were stuck to the floor. When she said to the craftsman, "You must make it again," little by little, her body returned to its normal state. So my mother was very upset, and she scolded him for not making it properly. He was shaken, and he promised to try his best to make it right. A week later, she went back to that craftsman. This time she was well pleased with the hat. She was relieved by this, and after paying for the shoes and hat, brought them back to the church in Pyongyang. Later, when she shared her experience about the incident, Reverend Fo laughed with joy. After about a month, my mother had another dream. She used to have very vivid dreams. In this dream, the same man whom she had seen in her dream the previous month appeared again and said, "I need to go to the north and study more. So prepare your favorite sleeping pad and a blanket, also a suit of the clothes. Put them in my backpack for me to carry with me." She answered that she would do so and returned home. Still in the dream, she entered her house, and amazingly, a clean blanket and a sleeping pad were already prepared and waiting for her. There was even a suit of the clothes. So it was light colored and the fabric was of excellent quality. Thinking, how incredible, how incredible. How can I ever express my gratitude enough? She packed them in the backpack with wholehearted devotion and offered it to the man. So that's the story. And this is, I think, final slide. As he put it on his back, he said to her, "I'll be back in 3 years. During that time, do not change your heart. Just wait for me." He whistled a tune as he departed on his solitary journey. As she watched his back receding into the distance, my mother cried and cried. He looked so lonely as he departed to study in the north. She thought to herself, "Of course, my heart will not change. Although I am just an ordinary woman, this distinguished man sincerely requested that I not change my heart for 3 years. She was so overwhelmed by his loving heart toward her that she could not stop crying. Then she woke up. In this way, my mother, Temonim, met the returning Lord ahead of time in her dreams. Thank you very much. That's the reading, and just stop sharing. So anyway, in those days, kind of spiritual influence is very intense, and people who prepared had been guided by Heavenly Parent by dreams or liberation and all that. And so dear brothers and sisters, I think all of you got the such kind of experience as well, smaller or bigger or whatever. Anyway, Korea is the really chosen country, and I think the time is really running out. And just I would like to share Korean prophecy. It was written here, the book, Who is He? Actually, before year 2000, we are so passionate to read the all kind of the prophecy books. And this was the published by the, not the church member, but who really study about the prophecies, especially for prophecy given in Korean people. And just quickly share what he picked up from the various Korean prophecy, which really enable us to confirm who Reverend Moon, Father Moon, and Mother Moon are. Okay, let me share this one. So according to the Korean prophecy, it says the holy man must be born north of the 38 parallel. And second one, he is born with the spiritual fortune of the arm past the Diamond Mountain in North Korea. He lives temporarily in the island nation in the east. So before August 15th, 1945 liberation, and then return to Korea. Wow, exactly, it's predicted what the father went through. So third point, he is the richly blessed as a legendary Seoksangon, who is known to be a man with the greatest blessings in the world. And fourth point, he must have the experience of the prison. Fifth point, he must endure a difficult life of the entrampment and walk a path through the land of death for the sake of the being the trustful and receive the ridicule and the unjust blame. And sixth point, so very interesting, he's the one who will the match and marry many good men and women who believe in God. Seventh point, he's one who marries again. Eighth point, the place he appears in is under the Dragon Mountain, where in the center of Seoul on the field of a white sand, rooster, crow, and dragon holes. He takes this place as a command post and provides direction to the world. I think the in total 12 points, so probably no time to share everything. But anyway, in the Western society, Bible prophecy, especially in the Revelation, is a kind of stimulation to keep the faith and waiting for the Messiah. Anyway, I think Jeffrey might be able to share the interpretation of the liberation. Anyway, Korean people were prepared through the old spiritual foundation and central figure as well. And each of you is also the central figure in the tribal, as a tribal messiah. And you must have a rich the experiences. Anyway, I wanted to share more about my personal experience, but I think the time is up. Anyway, I really appreciate for the platform that the Reverend Yutaka created for us. Let's realize the prophecy that the Father has given to us. Unified world begins from Oceania, and salvation of humanity is through self-power, self-reliance. Aju?
You.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Thank you, Reverend Watanabe. Thank you, everyone. I just like to add a couple of things that I thought of before opening it up. To me, Ahn Shi, and as Reverend Watanabe said, we cycle through the week, and to me that meant that every day is the Sabbath. And so I think with the beginning of Ahn Shi changed the whole perspective, so that it is fully. So it's going to stop sharing. There we go. So fully understand that every day is the Sabbath, and we can use it that way. But the main thing that struck me in this reading was that Damon actively searched for the Messiah, the returning Lord. And I was reflecting on my experience in America when I visited the ministers, and I always had this question I would ask them, and I would say, did they expect Christ to return? And they would always say, yeah, well, yeah, of course, but no one knows when. And then I used to press them to say, yes, I know that the Bible says no one knows the hour, but those that are fully prepared will surely be told. And so I asked them themselves personally, did they really believe that Christ would return in their lifetime? And after further conversation, I was really expecting, because growing up a Christian and Greek Orthodox and going through my own experiences of being born again and thinking that Christ will come in my lifetime. So I was expecting these Christian leaders to say the same thing, that that they are expecting, but 80% of them or more said that they didn't really think Christ would return while they were alive. And I thought, well, how can you prepare the people if you yourself can't fully, actively be, expecting or preparing for his return? So when I heard Damon and all that she went through and experienced, how she truly believed that she would meet the Lord, and she did. And I think that's a testament just on that fact of her faith, all her life, really, acting on the revelation and having those dreams that, really it will appear, and he did, and she did, and they became the true parents. So, having that absolute faith, and then carrying out an absolute practice. They go hand in hand. You can't have an absolute faith without actively doing it. So I was quite moved by that. So I'll open up to everyone who would like to share first. Would it be Jeff, as Reverend Yamada indicated that he might explain further?
Oh dear. Anyway, I've been quite sick the last few days, which is a really good thing. Surprise, surprise. Because oftentimes when you go through great difficulties, somehow out of it comes some insight, as some of you may experience, and I do from time to time. But anyway, I've been busy with an online prayer team, as I've mentioned before, 3 times a week with a Christian group. And so anyway, I'm not sure if I'm repeating myself here, because in my age, I tend to repeat myself quite a lot, but I'd had a vision a few weeks ago about China being the dragon, and also North Korea being the head of the dragon. I'm sure I said that before to you now. And that it's affected, it's through China, it's been able to sustain itself, North Korea, to make these weapons of mass destruction to fire out at the world. And that's like the fire coming out of the dragon's mouth around the world, you know. And then as I was thinking about this vision, I thought to myself, okay, there's the vision of the dragon and the head of the dragon, and the reunification of North and South Korea means the cutting off of the head of the dragon, you know, so that becomes, you know, no longer a weapon that can fire out at the world. And then I seem to remember in the book of Revelations, in 12, that Kenji mentioned, I talked about, and that took some, so I just typed in and I just talked about a woman and the dragon, I think I forget what I Googled, but it came up to that anyway. Revelations 12, and it talks about, it's actually entitled The Woman and the Dragon. And so then it talks about this woman who fights against the dragon. And I thought, wow, the woman who fights against the dragon. So I became to well up, tears come into my eyes, because I realized that who is the woman fighting the dragon? And then I read on in the chapter, and it said this woman is going to wear a crown with diamonds. And then I saw the vision of Mother in her purple robe, was holding the scepter with the throne, with the crown. And I thought, wow, this is really. And then I read on, you know, about it, and I realized that revelation is like, there's not only just one woman, it's actually like even 3 women, because the woman also gives birth to the child. And then it goes on to say that the dragon will fight against the offspring of the woman, and the offspring being like the 2 children in their great battle, you know, that they're having to recognize true mother. Satan has gone to attack them. I could just see this whole kind of like this picture of the revelation in the life of true mother. And then it goes on to say the same thing, that the woman will be carried up on the wings of an eagle, and she'll be carried to a safe place for a time and a half. And I thought, the eagle is America, the symbol of America, the golden eagle. And so Mother flies to America. She awakens the Christian ministers, you know, and gathers them, you know, the forces of goodness, you know. And I was just really, wow, even as I'm reciting it here, I'm reminded of my emotions as I could see what's going on, you know, with Mother's mission as the woman fighting the dragon. So, and anyway, with my Christian group, yeah, I could go on about the story as I do. So anyway, I won't go on, because I put this post out to them to awaken them as to who true mother is, and why UPS focuses on bringing about the unification of North and South Korea to get their mindset, you know, not on the COVID-19 and not on all these other issues, but this issue of the reunification of North and South Korea is a biblical, you know, what can I say, story of what's going on in our life today. Not just something that's in the spirit word about the dragon. This is real on earth today, and we need to see the real battle and where true mother is leading the forces today. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff. Who else would like to share? Yes, Danielle, go ahead.
Yeah, 감사합니다, everyone. Good morning. So there's two things that I've kind of been feeling quite strongly, and one is the, you know, our connection to the chosen people, and one is the connection to a next generation, to the second generation, of what they bringing to our realization, and how we can, you know, be really connecting to both. And so in regards to our role as the, you know, the chosen people and connecting to the chosen people, I felt quite moved by the fifth rally of hope when they, at the beginning, so it actually when it really starts, probably like 20, maybe it's quite a bit into, because first is all the presentations of the previous rallies, and then at the beginning of the fifth rally of hope, there's these words coming: I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. We will open the door. And you see this big key, you see this picture of this big key. And actually those words just really shook my soul, you know, I thought, whoa. And it connects to the experience that I've been having with, you know, with all the chosen people. And it's just as they come into my reality of every day and relationships, I feel this bond, you know, I feel this, the heart, and just understanding how would that can fit into our lives, and connecting to a true mother and the true family. And this is like just like a connection of heart, and understanding what true parents went through with their own children, and how we can, as children, also help in a artistic level, help our true parents and true mother release that. The other thing is with our children. So for us to truly connect with them, I feel they bring another element that is sometimes, if I'm not aware enough, and, you know, in the both kind of realities, it's almost like we live that reality, very spiritual reality, and this is our role, but also they bring like another element. It's like, you know, the present moment, and how to create then the future, you know, in the you know, way of connecting to what's going on in the world right now. There's like really an incredible awakening of people of consciousness, and they coming together in all different areas, you know, like the environmental, you know, the people who are, you know, connecting, and it's all kind of developing the artistic or the emotional part of human beings, and feeling connecting with each other, and creating, you know, a better society, or even in the professional world, people that are coming and building that kind of level of heart connection, not like the old professional way where it's just a ladder kind of, you know, achievement, and who is going to be, you know, the most successful, most financially rewarded. So, and it all comes down to the way that I can truly be able to perceive that is truly being present in the moment, and understand what is Heavenly Parent moving my heart. So be present to love in the moment.
Yeah. Thank you, Daniela.
Thank you.
Yes, Reverend Ito. We can't hear you.
Good morning, brothers, sisters of the Oceania and the readers. Thank you very much, Reverend Watanabe's amazing preparation for this morning. I really understand more deeply another aspect of Temonim, and very thank you so much. And based on also Reverend Yamada's series of True Mother's speech, what I felt is, Jesus' time in a God prepare environment before sending Messiah, just like Israel, just inside and outside the Roman Empire, and all the road leads to Rome. So prepare all the environment. And the same token with the true parents, second advent, God prepare environment like Japan, China, and Russia. At the moment, Korea was very struggling, externally. At the internally, just like we reading many prophesies, and really, a final moment. Really, 6,000 years God waited, but finally came. So, very close to that moment when true parents start action. Many very spiritual world, very noisy and exciting and prepare. That's why many people receive revelation, and even Temonim, like this, dream vividly through Father. And finally, they met. But final important point is human responsibility. Father entered the Kim Pak Moon's church as a young pastor, but he didn't recognize him. Finally, Father quit. For this, Christianity for all prepare for the welcome of the Messiah. For the American and the Korean was cut off, and finally create Unification Church, the replacement of this, and also something like this, I remember, that I cannot say no time, and Father gathered national messiahs in the I think what's it, Las Vegas, like a original divine principle seminar. Many seniors, 36 couple down, national messiah gathering, the all final moment of Father, Father cry in front of us, I never saw Father cry. You didn't understand. You didn't understand Father cry. We don't know deeply what this means, And the last moment, Father went Commandant, the small island, many times. Something, we want to know what the secret to Father, at the time decide. And also, I know every time when Father go to the Las Vegas, there is one doctor, Dr. Cho, he whom I know him since Africa. He said, Father's health was quite well, but why Father become like this? 2012, and become sick and passed away. He couldn't imagine Father's health when he checked in Las Vegas was quite well. So all those things, is really, something our responsibility is missing. Yeah, with some lack of, we didn't recognize, but Father cried like this, So what's this deep meaning? We must research it, Sorry to say, I don't have a time. So yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Reverend. Who else would like to share? Yes, no, go ahead.
Just quickly, I think when I joined the movement, is that me? I'm right?
Oh, actually, I said.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I had an experience recently. I went to a Cook Island family who was blessing their house in moving in, and they have a good relationship with their minister, which is the brother of the Cook Island sister who passed away in the MFT team here. Anyway, whenever he goes to a family service, like just a gathering, not family service, a time to spend with the family whose family member has passed away. They go to a home and say prayers. And even at this time where they opened or blessed the house for being used, and he always print the Bible reading for the week. And so everyone there from their group, the church, read a verse of the Bible, and then they explain it, even, you know, to the event or to the gathering at the time. But just a few days ago at the blessing of the house, so whether you're a visitor or not, I was just new, you know, with the group, and so I had my turn, but at first spiritually I didn't feel some connection of, I didn't feel clear as to how to treat this, how to make it useful for God, for true parents, for the divine principle. And then towards the end I thought, yeah, I must, I can't always think of how I can give it, but actually how to use the speaker to pray and command the spirit world to speak through the speaker, to speak of the new revelation, the new understanding of the Bible. And then he was starting to explain the Bible close to, after I have spoken, close to how we understand it. Yeah, because the topic of the day was about Paul, you know, that how he struggled. We do the things that we don't want to do because there's two laws, you know, good and evil. So when that was my verse, and explained it the principal way. And yeah, it was good. And then also even last night I went to another service, someone who passed away, and then I started thinking the same way, how to make use of the situation. And it's amazing. I mean, we need to have a change of mindset, how to witness, not the old way, but a different way, by utilizing the spirit world. So all can receive it, not just directly through us, but through any speaker, could be religious, political, but to make that medium a way for even for the speaker to receive some new understanding, would be a realization for them, and also they're doing it for us. Anyway, that's just something I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Chris, go ahead.
Oh, you still have time. Just quickly, yeah, when I joined the movement, one of the most things I loved when we all sat around as young members was talking about God and the new revelations we were having. And I just wanted to say that a few days back I mentioned that God has really wants us to understand how important this foundation we're laying is. And I just wanted to thank Doug yesterday and Jeffrey today. Incredible insights, you know, about the value of this foundation that we're laying here. And yeah, just amazing, really very, very inspiring. I see all the pieces adding on top of each other to the comments of the members, brothers and sisters. I'd like to hear from some of you other guys out there we don't hear from much. Anyway, thanks everyone. Great, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, and I second that. You know, we need, there's many of us here, but it seems to be the same few doing the same. So, yeah, take the courage to speak. It would be great. But it is that time, and I'll share the screen so that we can offer our 7-minute prayer together. So just 1 second. Let's begin. Thank you, everyone. Adieu. Adieu.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, there you go. Have a good day and
Good,
see you
everyone.
tomorrow.
Good day, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
God
Have a
bless.
good day.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Janine,
Thank you.
thank you.
Take care.
Bye.